Welcome back to Unqualified and Uneducated, where we give you our unqualified and uneducated opinions on all things sports, movies, anime, music, TV, anything that's interesting. We're talking about it. What is up, Carl?
What's good, man? We hit one of those late night casts.
It is 8:57, February 1st, p.m. We just felt we had to. This is one of those pop-up episodes, a little couple days earlier than we normally shoot, but we felt we had to get our opinions out there on these trades that's happening in the NBA.
Yep.
It
Big
is
time moves.
it's
Bro. Big
pandemonium.
It's freaking crazy, bro. That unicorn trade got me out the freaking just hit me out the blue.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's start there because I originally had texted you about Anthony Davis. I want to talk about Anthony Davis, but Porzingis getting traded to the Mavericks and the Knicks. That's like a whole nother. That's. How do you feel about the trade?
I hate it for the Knicks because they're going all in on free agency,
Mm-hmm.
and then I like it for the Mavericks because, bro, you already got Dirk on the team. Now you got little mini Dirk to train under him.
That's so funny. So I agree. And before I really thought about it, and I had talked to a couple people about it, I thought the trade was bad. But shout out to my man Steven, because he showed me he shed some wisdom on me, and he basically told me that they what they were able to accomplish with this deal, they got away from the Tim Hardaway contract, which they shouldn't.
Yeah.
They overpaid him. They shouldn't have paid for him in the first place. The Courtney Lee contract, they got from under that, so they got rid of like 2-3 years of I think like 50 mil or something like that. So they got rid of that from those two players. I could be wrong on the numbers. I could have been fudging the numbers, but they got rid of that. They got the guy that they should have drafted last year.
That's true.
They fixed that wrong. They fixed two wrongs. And then the third one is, okay, so I like Porzingis. I stopped liking him as much as I used to after he came out in, I think, November or December and said he was tired last year. And
He's soft. Yeah, he's still soft.
I was like, all right. So I stopped liking him as much. But just to be honest, I mean, he's you might agree or not, but he's a 7-footer with an ACL injury. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big guys, any injury below the knee, that's once lower body injuries for big guys, it always spells doom. And one thing with Porzingis is you hope, since he's so slender, that he'll be able to bounce back from it. But we've seen that a lot of guys, they get these injuries and it's over. But then you got Joel Embiid. He's had all those injuries he was able to bounce back. I think that what the Mavericks they're doing, they're hoping that modern medicine is so good right now that they're able to, kind of alleviate some of that doubt.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Back in the day, but a little while ago, foot injuries like Yao Ming,
Mm-hmm.
leg injuries, whatever it'd be, knees on big dudes would just ruin their careers, But nowadays, where we're at in time and how trainers and teams force players to take care of their bodies, keep them on some routine. We have all this next level freaking cryo sleep bull crap from Dragon Ball Z that these dudes can go in, and I just feel like now maybe it's still a risk. Don't
Mm-hmm.
get me wrong, it's still a risk, but not as big of a risk as it might have been.
Yeah.
A little while back, just because of how much we've advanced in such a little amount of time. Medically, I guess.
You would never expect a guy like DeMarcus Cousins to go tear his ACL and expect to be.
I know that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, DeMarcus, I thought that fool was done.
Me
just
too.
because he's big. He's just big.
The weight. And then like the amount
But
of time
yeah,
he
he's back,
came back in a full year.
and he came back like he didn't look anything different than what he was before.
Yeah, like he's
That's like
rusty.
he looked like the same DeMarcus. He
Yeah,
just looked like DeMarcus who didn't play basketball for a minute.
exactly. I agree with that 100%. But that one thing I talk about with the Mavericks, do you understand why Porzingis signed the qualifying offer? So basically, he's foregoing restricted free agency, and instead of signing like after your 4 years, you sign that rookie deal. You're a restricted free agent. You can go talk to other teams. They can offer you a deal, and then
Yeah,
your team that has you can match it. He like foregoed all that, signed a qualifying offer. I think he's getting like 4 or 5 mil or something like that. And
yeah, like extending to a fifth year of the rookie
yeah,
contract.
so he's doing a prove it year, and it's like, why are you turning down 150 million?
Hmm.
Do you get that?
Maybe he's trying to show that he's like willing to stay on a team, like play with Dallas and like take a little hit this year or the next year, whatever, on his pay because they have to take on these other contracts.
No,
Like they had to take on Tim Hardaway's and Courtney Lee's, and maybe he's thinking about that. I
yeah,
don't know.
I don't.
Or maybe maybe he really just wants to prove himself and thinks he can. He thinks he's not going to get a big enough contract because he's injured,
Yeah,
and he thinks that if he does his prove it year, he can get a bigger contract the next year.
yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Essentially, this is next year is a prove a year, um, which is kind of unfortunate because to me, by not doing that, that means he's not healthy. I don't think he's healthy this year because I think there was videos of him running on the sand this year. Like, there's a whole bunch of drama with him and the Knicks, and I guess like there's a video of him running on the sand, so he's able to run. But the fact that he doesn't do the qualifying offer, and this is we're talking that I think he's probably in Dallas right now. He's probably gonna get physicals pretty soon, gets checked out. He may play this year, but to me, when I hear about this qualifying offer and he basically turning next year into a prove a year, I don't think he plays this year. So
Yeah, I don't know. It's strange. It's strange. You would think if he's trying to at least have a good season next year, he might want to try to come back towards the end,
mm-hmm.
just to at least build some sort of chemistry with
Luka,
the guys he's playing with, and especially with Luka.
yeah,
So I don't know. That's very yeah, that's weird. Most guys don't do the qualifying contract unless they're like,
forced to.
yeah,
I think he's
they know they can't really get paid.
yeah. I think he's the first rookie kind of guy on a rookie scale deal at like a all-star level talent, like probable talent guy that did this.
Maybe he googled like latest center, like forward center's contract, and he saw DeMarcus's, and he's like, oh damn, that's all DeMarcus could get.
Oh boy!
I'm gonna get what I can get.
So you said DeMarcus? He's like, man. He said Boogie got that. I can't get
Boogie
anything.
only got that.
So you saying Boogie's still shaping the market on and off the court?
Yep.
So,
Porzingis don't know English, bro.
so how do you feel about the Luka Porzingis deal? Because essentially now you have two star level talents.
I like it. If it works out, I really like it for the Mavericks, just because I think it's cool to put two guys, like two European players,
Mm-hmm.
Who were big back in like Latvia and wherever the hell.
Slovenia.
Luka Doncic is from Slovenia. And then now, like, if they could bring this team, the Mavericks, up into some type of contender, because I mean, like, Tim Hardaway, he's overpaid,
Mm-hmm.
but he's a good piece.
He's a good piece.
Decent. He's decent.
Yeah.
And they have Harrison Barnes still, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, and they still have Dirk, who's an all-star.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they still got like talent on the team, and it's actually like a pretty decent team.
Yeah.
Who'd they give up? DeAndre and
Yeah.
Wesley Matthews.
Yeah. Here's what I'm hoping, because this means something for the Kings. Like, as we get closer to the end of the season, I'm starting to realize that these big time free agents aren't coming to Sacramento. So we have to do what we have to do to get a small forward and through means of like trades. So
Yeah.
I think it's time that they start going after a small forward. I was always on the set that we should not make a deal until we shouldn't really make a deal this season to make the playoffs. But I think we should make a deal just to get a small forward. And Harrison Barnes, I still believe in him. I like Harrison Barnes as a player.
Oh yeah, I love Harrison Barnes.
I think he fits right in. They don't have a center right now. We have one too many centers. They want to relieve cap space. We send Willie Cauley-Stein, Kufis.
Ooh, Willie and Kufis
for Harrison Barnes.
Harrison.
And this how it works out two ways. We get our small forward that we desperately need. We're able to move Bagley into the starting position, which he needs to start now. It's starting to be evident that he needs to start. Then the Mavericks they get another like DeAndre Jordan type center and Willie Cauley-Stein that can fill that role right now until the offseason. They can decide if they want to pay him or let him walk. And Kufis just expires at the end of the season, or they can just pay him out right now. So that works. It works out both ways. For both teams, it works out. So
it actually does.
So I think they should. I think we need to pull the trigger on the Harrison Barnes deal. Like when Porzingis.
Harrison Barnes on the Kings. I've always liked Harrison Barnes.
I think he's the piece. He'd be the first like legit small forward we've ever had since I don't know. I guess Rudy Gay kind of.
You tell me you've given up on the Kevin Durant dream?
Dude, once they got rid of Porzingis now, like the Knicks and all this collusion that's happening in the NBA now, I feel like Kyrie and Kevin Durant might end up in the Knicks, man.
Dude, Kyrie's foul, bro.
So wait, before we get to Kyrie, let's talk about the Knicks. Let's talk about the Knicks a little bit, because what they've done with this Porzingis trade is they cleared up. I was impressed. I was happy with ours. We had like $59 million in cap space. The Knicks have $72 million in cap space. That's guaranteed.
Yeah, but they don't.
But okay.
They don't have a squad on their team.
They don't have anything on their team. I agree. So their whole thing is they're going to swing for the fences in the offseason. And I don't necessarily think that's bad, because the situation they're in was Porzingis was like, Porzingis wasn't feeling New York, right? And we saw that he's willing to sign a qualifying offer for 1 year. So they essentially could have lost Porzingis for nothing. You know what I mean?
That's true.
He could have just walked. So essentially they got Dennis Smith Jr. And let's say they swing for the fences, they don't get anything. They still have Mitchell Robinson, who I think is going to be a pretty decent center. They have Kevin Knox, who I think is going to be a decent player. They have Dennis Smith Jr.
No, I like these guys.
Frank Ntilikina, and then they can win Zion if they tank hard enough. Their situation, is eerily familiar to our situation when we traded DeMarcus to the Pelicans. We traded DeMarcus essentially for Buddy Hield. Everyone was all mad and stuff at the time. I was devastated.
I was pissed.
Buddy Hield was a rookie. Same thing with Dennis Smith.
24-year-old rookie.
But he was still a rookie, And then after that, we got Fox, and then we turned it around. The only thing that's really different between the Knicks and us are the Knicks pretty much own all their picks. So if they do decide to rebuild, it's a lot more clean than ours. We don't have a pick this year. So essentially, they trade for Dennis Smith. He's like their Buddy Hield. And then next year they draft Zion or somebody. That's their De'Aaron Fox. And if they swing for the fences and they miss completely on everything, they just, they got Dennis Smith, Zion, Kevin Knox, Mitchell Robinson, Frank Ntilikina. I mean, you could be a lot worse than that.
Nah, yeah, it doesn't sound bad. I'm certain that Knicks fans are just
they're devastated
right now. They're pissed right now.
They're devastated.
But it's we know what it feels like.
We know. Chan's a Knicks fan, right? That fool is hurt. Man. And
that's not even to the extent of losing DeMarcus.
Oh yeah, definitely, because ours, there's this Porzingis thing came out of nowhere, but ours literally came out of nowhere. DeMarcus said, "I'm signing here. I'm gonna be here." He's at the All-Star game. all of us are just like, okay, let's just enjoy the All-Star game. He doesn't play. We're like, oh yeah, he's just being. I remember that. I remember we talked about it. We're like, oh, Boogie's being cool. He's just letting other people play. He doesn't really care about the All-Star game. And then he gets traded, and it's just like, whew. But Knicks, they're in the same situation as we were in. You know, a little better, but you know, they could either. Like I say, man, they could swing. The best case scenario, they end up with like Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, and they fill it in with other people. They would. That's the thing, though. They would have Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and all those young guys.
Yeah.
Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, not even. I would say middle case scenario is they just have the young guys and they don't do anything. Worst case scenario, they maxed out like Jimmy Butler.
Oh fuck!
that's the scary thing that could happen. What I'm afraid of the Knicks doing is like, and I got love for Kemba, but I'm afraid of them trying to max out Kemba and Jimmy Butler and trying to go in on that team.
No.
That's
please, Knicks.
That's the worst that could happen. You know what I mean? Like, I like Tobias Harris. I don't know if he's the guy that you give max. So
my God.
That's the only thing I'm worried about the Knicks, man. They set themselves up for huge success or potential success, or they could be like the Knicks and it could blow up in their face. And that's why I'm so excited for this offseason to see what they do.
That would be crazy if they max out Jimmy Butler and he just goes in and just ruins all those young guys.
Yo, everybody's been saying, this is the one thing I heard about Jimmy. No matter how much he like argues with coaches, he says I'm like, no matter what he does, everyone across the board says somebody's gonna max him out. So they say somebody's gonna max him, and freaking, it could be the Knicks. It could be the Knicks or the Nets. The Nets also have cap space. The Heat could probably do it. Somebody will max him out. If the Clippers miss out on everybody, they'll max him out. I feel like Jimmy is like plan B for everyone.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really wants Jimmy on their team after all the crap that he stirs up.
Yeah, like I think he's going to be like 28, 29. Nobody's trying to give a max 5-year contract to Jimmy that has injury problems. So
yeah,
that's the whole Knicks and the Mavericks side. Now you want to get to Kyrie Irving?
Oh, I was just gonna call him a bum, bro.
Yeah. So if you guys aren't aware of like the whole Kyrie Irving situation, is kind of tied in with the Anthony Davis and LeBron situation, because it goes back to the phone call that Kyrie Irving had. He calls up LeBron and tells him, like, he apologizes. Then LeBron puts out a song by Fetty Wap, Rewind, that's the song or something like that, and he adds Kyrie Irving. So all this stipulation is Kyrie Irving going back to LA in the summer. And then it gets ratcheted up because we'll get to Anthony Davis trade later, but once the Anthony Davis trade happened, the report comes out that it's uncertain if Kyrie's going to resign with Boston. Then an interview comes out where a reporter asked him, they said, how do you feel about the Celtics or something like that? You know, you said you would want to resign here if we're willing to keep you, some BS like that. Kyrie Irving says, ask me in the summer, ask me June 1st. He said, I don't owe anybody shit.
I know, what's wrong with that fool? Oh my God. What is Kyrie's problem?
Kyrie's one of my guys. I really like Kyrie too. But that fool said, I don't owe anybody shit. And I was like, man, what's the aggression for?
What is his issue, dude?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Like, first off, my man's already said that he was basically like, I'm going to re-sign with Boston. You know, he said that like 2 months ago, maybe. Like, just sitting there in the court, all the fans around said, yeah, I think I'm going to resign. I don't know what he said, but that's basically what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And then now he's like, I don't owe anybody shit. Like, what?
Don't forget the commercial.
What changed, man?
Don't forget the commercial he has with his dad where he said he wanted to have his jersey hanging up in the Celtics rafters.
Oh, my God. What is he doing?
And you know what the worst part about this was? They played the Knicks today. I don't know if you saw this, but the Knicks started chanting, "We want Kyrie,
Oh my god.
we want Kyrie." And then his dad was in attendance, and he gave his dad his jersey. So I was like, yeah, Kyrie Irving's leaving. He's going.
That's
He's
wrong. The
gone.
Celtics are gonna get done foul, bro.
And then Brooklyn, they played against Brooklyn one time, and then Brooklyn started chanting, "Kyrie's leaving." I
Oh
want
my
I
god.
want to give a shout out to the audiences, the crowd in these games. There's been pretty good chants this year, and these guys are able to get it. They're able to sync up pretty well. Like when they played against the Spurs played against the Raptors and they called Kawhi a traitor. I didn't necessarily like that, but it was pretty clear. I just want to give a shout out to the. I just want to give a shout out to the crowds in the NBA. It's getting a lot better than like boos. Like it's audible. Like the insults are longer and they're more audible. So I just
Yeah,
give a
maybe
shout
they'll
out.
start getting on the level of like in England, the soccer leagues. You
Oh
know how they do hold on fucking songs where they're just roasting people out there. So maybe the NBA will get to that point.
I would
That'd be
hope so.
crazy.
I would hope so.
You know, they'd be like Kyrie, Kyrie, and then they'd say something after that, but I don't know what else. I
Why'd you
don't know
leave
how to
us?
make up chants, bro.
Hey, that's not our job, man. Our job is just to appreciate the people doing their talents out there. We
Yeah,
just don't
that's
be getting that angry like that. I'm good for a boo, but that's it. Like if I'm the type of guy, if I won't say it to your face, I'm not gonna say it just because you're far away from me. I'll boo you in your face. If I see you
Yeah,
walking down the street, I'll boo.
if you try to make me do a song as an insult, like you better hand out the lyrics at the door, bro.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
there's no way I'm gonna remember that.
I don't understand why NBA arenas don't do that though. I feel like NBA arenas should just like prepare chants, like or at least try to coordinate insults. I guess they don't
That's
want to. They don't want to be too petty. I guess.
I don't know. I still think like when ever. Well, I guess now it's hard because so many people make threes. But whenever people make threes, they should still throw up that Hunger Games or whatever the hell, you know.
Yeah.
Like throw up that three. I just think that would be dope if everyone did that, but no one made a sound.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever.
So let's get to the big one, the Anthony Davis trade.
Oh, Antoine.
Anthony Davis told the front office that he has no intentions of re-signing with the team, and later it comes out that he has no intentions of signing a long-term deal with whatever team that they trade him to, unless it's the Lakers.
God, he's foul, bro. I'm tired of this crap now, man. I'm just tired of it.
And so you're tired of the players choosing where they want to go
Yeah.
while they're under
man.
contract.
Yeah. Like, play it out, bro. Like, what? Like, I just don't like. Oh my god. And like, okay, maybe it is like doing in some way something good for the franchise because you're trying to get yourself traded. So if you think about it that way, you're giving your team assets, or the team that you were playing for assets, by being in a trade rather than just leaving in free agency. So I guess that's one way to look at it, but I don't understand, man. I just don't understand it.
See,
Like, dude, I don't know.
no, what were you, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
See, my thing with the Pelicans is they screwed this up from the jump. Like, I don't know if my memory is probably off, but when they first drafted Anthony Davis, instead of like developing him and trying to build a team to the draft like you normally should, they traded for Drew Holiday and signed Amir Ashik, right?
Omer Ashik is dope.
So, but okay, so back in that time, he was on Chicago, and he was like sort of up and coming, I guess. He had an up and coming thing, But unfortunately, when they signed him, like it was like I think Davis joined in 2012. That was like the beginning of the end for like bigs like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
then they just couldn't play together. And then Drew Holiday is a great player, one of the most underrated players in the league, and I really like Drew Holiday, but he was really injury prone at the time. So he missed some things. He had some family issues, so he missed a lot of time too. So they wasted a lot of Anthony Davis. You know, they wasted a lot of his years losing because Anthony Davis was one of those rookies and second year players that even though it was like he was young, he was ready to compete. So, I would say by his second or third year, he should have been like trying to compete in the playoffs. And I think they were pretty close. I think his third or fourth. Can't remember correctly, but I just felt like they didn't build through the drafts like they should have. And pretty much every team, when you have a young player, when you have like a young superstar, you don't build through the draft or bring in players that are close to his age with approximate talent, you're gonna lose them. You're gonna lose them. Like they, I'm with you. Like I kind of like I'm. It's like it makes me nervous because our team we have so many young players that are around the same age and appear to have talent that just could happen to us. But but I understand why. I don't necessarily like it too much. Play out your contract. It's what the offseason's
yeah,
for.
yeah. Play out your contract. You feel like it's not going to work out long term, then don't go signing these 5-year, like $150 million contracts.
Yeah.
Sign like a 2-year deal, sign a 3-year deal, sign a 1-year deal. It's like you don't have to sign these ridiculously long contracts.
And I agree with you. And I agree with you. But the one thing in Anthony Davis' case is this is his second contract. So it's the first contract. It's his first contract after his rookie year contract. So technically, he really didn't have a choice where he wanted to go.
Yeah, yeah, I guess you're right.
That's like that's the only thing I could say. Like he necessarily didn't really have a choice where he ended up in this case. But it's just, I mean, and he is you brought up earlier, he is like he's getting the most assets. Like the Pelicans, they need to jump on that Lakers deal. Like
yeah, whoever's gonna get Davis, you literally have to give up like you're like damn near half your franchise or 3/4 of your franchise. That's how I feel. Like you have to give up so much.
But the Lakers they're giving up Lonzo, Ingram, Kuzma, and Zubac. I think and like it will KCP and some picks. I don't understand a better deal than that because
that's so many like different assets.
That's a lot. Last year, that team plus Julius Randle won 35 games, and Lonzo missed a lot of time. Okay, so if the Pelicans made that deal, it would be essentially reuniting that whole team with Julius Randle plus Drew Holiday, and just seeing where that went. And then then you could trade Drew Holiday for pieces, try to get Julius Randle for pieces, and those young guys get whatever you can with those young guys. Decide from there. I don't see why they don't make the deal. I don't know what the Nets have that the Pelicans think is better. I mean, not the Nets, the Celtics. I mean, sorry, because they're trying to wait for the offseason because the Celtics can't trade for Anthony Davis until the summer. So
because they have the
Kyrie thing, so they can't trade for him until the summer, and then they have like picks and stuff, so they're like, oh, we can get probably more picks, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Terry Rozier in picks. So, you know what I mean? It's like, do you want the Ingram, Kuzma ball or the Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Rozier in picks?
Oof.
But the one thing with the Celtics picks are like, you would probably get our pick from this year. You would probably get another pick that they stole from somebody else. So the picks that they stole, they'll probably be like, one is going to be a lottery pick. Our pick is going to be like in the teens. You know what I mean? So you probably get better picks from dealing with the Celtics. So
Yeah, I would if I had an option, I would take the Celtics one just because the picks are good, and I think the players are a little high
better.
caliber, like a little bit more high caliber than
Yeah.
the Lakers side. But
I really like Zubac though.
no, I like him. People sleep on him, but
And I like Ball. I like Ball too. I like Zubac and Ball. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like I would just if I was a GM, I'd just get too scared that something dumb would happen to, the Celtics deal, and then you got to trade him to you don't get everything that you like. A player gets injured, like God forbid, Kyrie leaves, so you got to keep Terry Rozier. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And then you can't trade him, and then so now you're without you dreamed of pairing him with like Anthony Davis and Kyrie, but now you can't do that. So now you're like, oh crap. And then the Pelicans are like, we need more than just Jason Tatum. And then it turns out that our pick is like low 20s, and then somebody else's pick isn't as bad as you thought they were. Because right now everything is like, I think everything is under the guise that you got 2 high picks and young players that are healthy. And it's just a precarious situation that they're in right now. And I think this is probably bad, but I'll probably jump on that Lakers deal. I don't think you're gonna. I'll just jump on that. I know.
but I just saw something on Bleacher a little while ago from Anthony Davis, and he said like he requested the trade, but it wasn't necessarily just to go to the Lakers. I swear I saw that, so
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I saw that too, and he had an interview.
He's like trying to build his
image.
He's like, I'm trying to build my legacy rather than whatever. And I was like, what? I'm so confused.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, because he said that. I know you're right. He did say that, but he also said whoever picks him up is only gonna get a 1.5-year rental.
What the hell? I don't even understand.
So
bro.
yeah, so it's like what, so it's just like if you just want to play with he wants to play with the Lakers. You know what I mean? And then his dad came out earlier today, or a report of his dad came out earlier today. Basically said, I don't want my son to play for the Celtics. He said after what they did to Isaiah Thomas, they showed you that they have no loyalty.
Oof.
And then I was about to say, man, I wish dads would just stop chiming in on the NBA things and let their sons play. But they brought in our boy. They brought in our boy Isaiah Thomas. That changed everything. They did Isaiah dirty. So I was like, yeah, you kind of right there.
I can't. Yeah, I like that they called out the Celtics on that because that was a bum ass move by them.
Yeah.
But come on, the only team you would sign with is the freaking Lakers. Oh man.
Yeah, man.
You know what? Players these days are just weak.
Honestly, to tell you the truth, it makes a whole lot of sense because I was bashing the Pelicans on them not building a winner around him, but at the end of the day, he's the superstar that's supposed to make everyone better, right?
Yep.
And he hasn't been able to do that in 6.5 years. I mean, they got out the first round last year? Yeah, they got out the first round last year.
Yeah.
That was the first time, and he gets hurt a lot. He might not be the best player on the championship team, or the alpha on the championship team.
Yeah, because he wasn't able to pull like that bunch into like the playoffs and do any damage. And I know I'm gonna be comparing him to LeBron right now, but like LeBron when he was young, bummy ass cast team.
Show too.
And he took him deep, bro. He took him deep.
Yeah, that's when the East was good.
That's when the East was good. Like they beat some teams, bro. And like you're struggling when you had he had talent on his team these past few years.
He had Drew Holiday, Rondo.
They had DeMarcus,
Rondo.
They had Rondo. Like they had players, and it's just so. It's just weak, man. I'm getting tired of this weak ass NBA stuff, bro.
It's just I don't think there's just a lot of alpha males in the league anymore. There's not a lot of alphas in the league.
There isn't. There are no more alphas. They're all trying to be banana boats.
But you have the only alphas you really have are like that are superstars are like you got uh Russell Westbrook on OKC.
Oh yeah.
You got LeBron James because he's like LeBron's an alpha. That's why he can go deep, and everybody wants to play with him. He's going to dominate the ball. Giannis is an alpha.
Actually,
Giannis is an alpha. Like there's no doubt about it in my mind.
Giannis is the alpha.
Yeah, he's an alpha. I don't like alpha in talent, but not in personality. Kawhi, I'll put Kawhi in there.
Yeah.
And then as far as superstars, those are the only four I can really think of. I mean, somebody could probably say some others, but like Jimmy Butler's an alpha, but he doesn't have like superstar talent.
Jimmy Butler tries to be an alpha.
I would throw maybe Joel Embiid in that category of being an alpha.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever had any idea, like any thoughts, or I guess he's still like. Nah, he's signed a fat contract, but like he never sounded like he's ever wanted to move away from Philly. He's like sticks hard to like trust the process.
Trust the process.
So,
Yeah, and he was saying that before Ben Simmons was there. He was saying that for Jimmy. I feel like he was tying the Philadelphia success to his own success.
Yeah, they built their team like around Joel Embiid essentially.
Exactly.
So,
and I'm trying to think of
he's an alpha.
I would say DeMarcus is an alpha too, but he just hasn't been in the best situations. Partly his fault, partly our fault.
I would say he's an alpha.
So those are pretty much all you have. I mean, but you have guys that are like alphas, but are not at the superstar level. Like you got like a Draymond Green and some other. There's a bunch of other players, but like as far as like strictly like all NBA superstar talent, those are pretty much the only ones you could think of. And then that's why you have certain guys that like was gonna hop from like team to team, like Kevin Durant. He's searching, like he left OKC because he wasn't an alpha in OKC. Russell Westbrook was, but now I think his whole reason for leaving the Warriors is he wants to prove he is an alpha. Kyrie, I thought Kyrie Irving was an alpha, but if he leaves to go to the Lakers, I can't really say that he's an alpha or he wants to be the best player on his team. You know what I mean? Unless maybe if he went to the Knicks without Kevin Durant. Because they're both like, I don't know. It just depends. That's why I'm excited about what happens in the summer because we get to see a lot about players. So it's I think that's like you said. A lot of players are just like soft now.
They are. It's so different. I just have to try to get used to it. It's so different.
It's just man. Up and coming alpha. I want to put on the list is Luka Doncic. I think he'll be an up and comer. He's an alpha list up and comer. And we probably missed some people. I mean, like Donovan Mitchell, he's probably on that rise pretty soon. There's a lot. De'Aaron Fox probably, Victor Oladipo. There's a lot of guys that are up and comers, but just not on the list yet. We're just talking about strictly superstars.
Right.
So the All-Star reserve were revealed, and I think we were pretty right about some things. The only thing we were off about was. And we weren't necessarily off about it because we talked about it and we said he probably will get in, was Karl-Anthony Towns. He got in.
He got in?
Undeservedly so, if you ask me.
I knew his ass to get
in. You were right. He was the only one that got in. I didn't want him in. I would have given his spot to somebody from the Jazz or Luka Doncic. But yeah, he got in. I think they're sitting at 11th in the West. Well, same thing with Anthony Davis. Same thing with Anthony Davis. He's sitting at let me see. I think he's sitting at like 12th.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So Timberwolves 11th in the West. Pelicans 13 in the West. Got two of these.
Oh my God.
Right now, Pelicans is the bottom 6 team in the NBA. Might be a lottery team.
Who from the Clippers is it?
No one from the Clippers.
That's wrong.
Like we said, Tobias Harris was going to get snubbed. He got snubbed.
Tobias was the snub.
No, okay. And Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert didn't get in either.
Neither. Oh my god.
Okay, and guess what happened today? They were interviewing Rudy Gobert about it. The dude started crying.
No,
He started crying.
that's hype, bro.
And then Douchemond Green had to try to make fun of him. Come on, man. Douchemond Green had to make fun of him on on Twitter. I was like, man, I thought Draymond was cooling down, but he had to go and be the bully again.
Draymond's a bum.
He's a bully, bro. You know, there's like because somebody like he was crying. Then he put on his Twitter. He said, "I'm not going to Charlotte. Should I start crying too?" I was like, you can't judge somebody off their emotions. He really is trying to get into all. He thought if something means something to somebody, it means something to him. Everybody can't be on the
Plus,
champions.
Plus I bet Draymond's gonna go to Charlotte anyway, so he could watch all of the rest of his team play, bro.
Like I'm saying, like everybody can't be blessed to be drafted to the Warriors and get
Draymond, man, yeah. I knew I hated him for a reason.
Yeah, he was making fun of him for crying, and then I was like, that's foul. I was like, that's one of those things you ain't got nothing to say, nothing nice to say. Don't say it at all.
Like, for real, it's like Gobert he's been playing his heart out all season long. Feels like he deserves it.
All last year too.
It's alright for him to be frustrated. Yeah, it's alright for him to feel frustrated about not being on the team. Yeah. When you get to just coast through your season playing on the best team in the league, being the 7th banana on the team.
7th banana, damn.
Oh, backpack! Get the hell out of here, backpack.
So I'm going off of it. We called the Steph getting in. We called KD. We called Clay getting in just off name. We got Jokic. We got Russ and PG. We got Dame. We got LaMarcus. We said only one. We got LaMarcus. We got James Harden getting in. We said either Donovan Mitchell or Rudy Gobert would get in. None of they didn't get in. And we knew Tobias Harris was going to get snubbed. Also LeBron, and we knew Anthony Davis was going to get in. Karl Anthony Towns was the only one that got in, and we were like, what?
Ugh, Karl Anthony Towns. I just had that feeling in my bones.
You were right. You were right.
Bum's kicking.
I think he just got in off of stats and name alone, just really empty stats.
Oh, it has to be. That's the only reason why.
Like, and then on the East, pretty much, I think it was the same thing. It was just how we predicted. The only thing that messed us up was Victor Oladipo getting hurt, and then they replaced him with D'Angelo Russell. And I think he deserves it. That dude's been hooping. Like I
think we even said that if anyone's getting snubbed, maybe we might have said D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah,
would be that guy. So the fact that Oladipo got hurt and then D'Angelo goes in was we basically called that.
Yeah, we called that. So that's good. So we can pick a day before the All-Star or before they draft. We can draft our guys. I mean, we could do it Sunday.
When's their draft?
I don't know.
Yeah, let's do it on Sunday.
That's the most. Our draft for the All-Star will be the most important thing that'll happen this Sunday.
Oh damn, Sunday! I forgot.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. I've been asking football fans that love football more than basketball. I've been asking. I was asking, hey, right now, like, which league has the most juice right now, the NBA or the NFL? Everybody's saying NBA, but they're saying it begrudgingly. Like, I asked Hector, I said, which one has the most juice right now? Because the NBA's buzzing, and he said it's only because like the trade rumors and all this other stuff. And I was like, bro, I don't want to hear that. I just asked you a question, man. Well, who's buzzing right now? And then I was like, bro, I forgot the Super Bowl was today. Like it's the NBA, like because Anthony Davis, Porzingis, Kyrie.
Yeah, it's blowing up right now.
The NBA is popping right now. It's trade season, baby. That's why everybody get football is king, but it's literally still the regular season for the NBA, and it's overshadowing the biggest event in football.
That's actually crazy. I legit forgot.
I did too.
Was the Super Bowl for a second.
I did too. Like I was thinking, I was like, what time should we record on Sunday? And I was like, we could probably do our All-Star thing. Let me see. I wonder if Carl's watching any football on Sunday. And I thought to myself, why would I ask myself that? And I was like, oh, it's the Super Bowl. Yo,
We can still do it on Sunday. We'll just have to do it after.
Yeah, I'm down. I probably won't even. Truthfully, nah, I'll watch it just for.
Oh, yeah, I'll probably end up watching it.
Yeah, I'll watch it. And if the Patriots start to blow out the Rams, I'm not gonna watch it anymore.
Yeah, I want to watch it just for we could talk smack on it on the next podcast.
That is true. I'll watch it. And if somebody has somebody's out there has a Super Bowl party, let me know if it's in town. I'll go to it.
Oh, we should we'll watch it and we'll say our top three or top five favorite commercials.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. We should do that.
That's why I'd be watching the Super Bowl.
That didn't make sense. I just watched to see how many footballs are gonna get deflated. What's the over under? how many footballs are gonna get deflated this Super Bowl?
That's why Tom Brady always has that big ass raincoat on. He just has the footballs under there, and his arms are just deflating.
Yeah, it's deflated. Deflated football. I feel it. Is there anything else that we need to cover? Like I kept my phone on me just in case anything crazy happened, any trades happen. But I think we've hit all the proposed ones. I still think
I think that's everything. Yeah, I think the only thing that we missed, and it's because I don't know, we just missed it because it happened at an awkward time, was Oladipo getting injured. We didn't ever really talk about that. You know? I
mean, yeah, but it sucks because
it's awful. That sucks, dude. It's terrible.
Because I feel like I don't think it's a stretch to say that they could have made it out the East if the stars aligned. Because they still play, but they played really good defense. They were starting to learn how to play without Oladipo. I think he missed 11 games, and they were I think 7-4, or 9-2 or something like that. They had a pretty decent record while he was out. And they were really starting to come together as a team. All their players were playing for one another. And then him to just, oh man, I felt bad for him.
Yeah, that sucks, man. That's crazy. And he was having he just had his breakout season.
Mm-hmm.
So you just knew he was going to be balling out this season.
He was
showing out, and then again showing out in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it just gets cut short.
Right.
And now we have to see if he can even rebound from it.
That is true. Well, he should have time before the next season, I hope. Oh, snap. I'll read you the first offer from the Lakers to the Pelicans. It was LA offered Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Rajon Rondo, Michael Beasley, and a first-round pick.
Michael Beasley, bro. I am taking it. Michael Beasley is a number 1 or was he a number 2 draft pick?
That is crazy.
I am taking it.
Yo, Rondo's I signed here to play with LeBron. You guys trade?
They said I was just on this damn team.
See, I think that now that I think about it, I think there were probably problems between him and Anthony Davis, Rondo.
Yeah.
And I think,
probably.
And I think that's the only reason why I can think of, because they don't have a point guard if they trade Lonzo and Rondo.
Yeah, they have LeBron, bro.
And then, because I had text, because I don't know, did I text you about DeMarcus being the reason why Anthony Davis left?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was it. I think he was probably upset that they didn't try to bring back DeMarcus.
The Pelicans really did mess up because Anthony Davis was like, oh, yeah, we got a good thing going here. I love DeMarcus. That's my boy. Can't wait till we keep playing and keep working towards those playoffs. And then they just don't sign his ass back.
Yeah. I remember he said it was right after DeMarcus got hurt. And he was like, I felt that if both of us were still healthy, we could have made it to the conference finals and made it to the finals.
Yeah.
And I was like, people were bashing him for it, and they're like, you're crazy. But they were, at the time, they were really meshing together, and they were hooping. And I was thinking I don't understand. I don't see how any team's gonna be able to handle both of them down low. And I think there was
they were cool. Yeah, they were cool.
There was some merit to that, and unfortunately Boogie got hurt. But I think if he was healthy last year, they would most definitely get past the Trailblazers. They would probably they'd have a better record than they already had. You know what I mean? So they'd have a better record, so they probably wouldn't play the Warriors in the first round, maybe. You know what I mean? I think they would play like maybe like the Rockets or like, and I can see them getting past the Rockets.
I just can't believe they didn't sign back DeMarcus on any type of deal.
I know. I think that's
like just solely to keep your like corner piece Anthony Davis, just to keep him happy. Why don't you sign him back?
And that's
on any type of deal.
That's why, like, I feel bad for them, but it's like at the same time, I feel like this Anthony Davis could have been preventable with like smart rebuilding, development, and you're already in a situation. Bring back DeMarcus, especially how low he signed.
Oh, I know, that's ridiculous. They could have gotten away with like such a small deal. And so what's he getting paid right now? $5 million or something?
Yeah, he's getting like $5.
So if they just dished out $5 million, they would still have Anthony Davis.
Shit, you just give him 15
or,
for 1 year.
They would have a happy Anthony Davis.
Yeah, it's like he wouldn't request a trade if DeMarcus was still there.
No. And then even like worse comes to worse, they give DeMarcus this deal just to try to keep Anthony Davis happy. Oh, Anthony Davis still decides that he wants to leave. At least you still have DeMarcus on your team.
You still have DeMarcus. Like, yeah, exactly.
What the hell,
it's
man?
like, exactly.
Pelicans, what is you doing, man?
They out of here. I know we're getting close to the end, but if there was one team that you had to trade Anthony Davis to, that made sense, what team would you like him to get sent to?
Well, see, it's hard for me to try to think of one that makes sense because I don't know what like assets teams have.
Mm-hmm.
But when you mention like, imagine Anthony Davis on the Bucks.
Oh yeah,
bro, that would be amazing, dude. I would love that. Just like the defense on that team would be ridiculous.
Yeah, it'd be incredible. Because like
I don't know, yeah. Oh,
because like I say like that makes sense now. But it seems like the Pelicans are so hurt right now that they'll probably send him anywhere and not care what they get back.
Yeah, like I mean, the Bucks have pieces. Like
I mean, not much, but
like, not much. But like they have like a Thon Maker who had some potential a little while ago. They have Brogdon, Chris Middleton. He's an all-star, bro. Chris Middleton.
Oh yeah, dude.
They have to trade everything.
Yeah,
literally everything.
It would just be Giannis and Cat, but it'd be interesting in these.
I take it.
I take my chances with Giannis and Cat, and try to sign people. I would just scour the D League for like the best D&3 guys.
Josh Stockton's son, bro.
David Stockton.
What's his name?
David's out there. Shout out to David Stockton. He's probably out there somewhere.
Shout out David Stockton. Shout out to they could get a backup center in Simbular.
No, I would try to make a trade to Sacramento. Try to get Willie. I think you could figure out a first round pick for Willie. Yeah, you could do it.
Go ahead.
You can figure out ways. There's ways to fill out that team. You just look for like cheap options. Get Willie and Frank Mason.
Yeah, they could do it.
If they find a way to do it, they could. If there was one team I want to see Anthony Davis on, I would like to see him on the Raptors. I would like to see.
Oh yeah, that was the other team that I was like, oh, that'd be sick.
And then because I kind of want to see a team just get wrecked in the free agency. Kawhi and Anthony Davis just leaves. I'm sorry. I'm at the point where like I'm just here for entertainment now. The Raptors are like their fans are like, yeah, we got the best 1-2 punch, 1-2 defensive punch, overall punch, and then both of them just leave in the summer. That'd be amazing.
At least Drake would be able to come up with like an album off of that. I bet.
Oh, he'd be hurt.
He would be It would be one of those sad ass.
I'm not gonna lie. I like sad Drake. he be making rain music. Oh yeah. There was one thing I had to talk about. One other thing. Luka, I talked about it on a podcast, an episode that me and my boy Mike did. I really think Luka is the next great hated superstar because
Hated.
the next great hated superstar. And I say this because he's having a phenomenal year, but he gets so much coverage and he's talked about so much that at times he can be overrated. And some of his fans are starting to become like LeBron fans. They're starting to become irrationally delusional. If you ever want to, if you guys ever want to have fun out there, check out the Dallas Mavericks fan page, like on Bleacher Report, and see some of the comments that they post on there. I swear to you that Jesus is in Dallas because
they have dirt.
No, man. One guy was like, "It's a shame that Luka didn't make the All Stars," and I was like, "Yeah, it is a shame." I was like, "It's such below him to play with the in the rookie game." I was like,
what?
He's a rookie. I was like, he's a rookie, bro. He's not I was like, are you saying he's better than the guys that are playing? And the guys in this game are like Lauri Markkanen, De'Aaron Fox. You got like Bogdanovich. Ben Simmons not gonna be in it, but like, you know what I mean? Those are the guys that would be in that rookie rookie
yeah, they
game.
can play, bro.
I was like, what are you? And then there was another person I was like,
so below him.
That was it was basically like, oh, it's such below him to play with people that he was drafted with. And then one person was like, ew, he'll be playing with Trae Young. I was like, well, what did Trae Young do to you?
He talked, bro. He talked.
I was like, that's insane. And the other person was like, Luka Doncic, I do like that he takes those half court shots, but I think they should not count those shots towards his field goal percentage.
What?
I was reading it and I was like, what? Did he shoot it during the game? And then somebody was counting it. There was like, there's actually a stat for that, and it's called like garbage time plays. But yeah, I agree with you. They probably shouldn't be counted towards his field goal percentage. And I was just like, what?
These guys are idiots.
And then there was somebody bashing Dennis Smith, and I was like, I swear he was the chosen one last year. But it just shows you.
They were all over. I bet if you look at that page a year ago, they were saying the same shit about Dennis Smith.
They're probably like shitting on De'Aaron Fox. I'm so glad we got him before Fox. Dennis Smith over Jason Tatum any day. They probably like Dennis Smith could do whatever Jason Tatum did in the playoffs if he had stars around him too.
Maybe it's just Dallas fans, bro. They might just be delusional.
But here's another thing. Then he has like all the European people over there. They're commenting on like Facebook and stuff on their Facebook things, and I read the comments, and I'm like, these dudes are crazy too. One guy was like,
even read that shit. What are you talking
about? Nah, man. One dude was like, Luka's top 10 right now. I was like, right now?
Whoa.
And it's not like, and I'm not saying it because one person said that. A bunch of people are saying this. They're just like fans. They're just being delusional, right? They're just like, he's top 10. And I'm just like, I mean, we could talk about it, but the top 10, you can't be. And see, Anthony Davis ruins his argument. I would want to say you can't be top 10, not be in the playoffs, but like,
yeah,
Anthony Davis is
Anthony Davis is top 10. No,
he's
a top 10.
He's a special, all that special stuff. Yeah, I get that. So it's like, I'm like, what? It's just, there's a lot of love for him, and I like that. Luka Doncic is going to be a dope player, and he's only going to be better now that Porzingis is there. And I love the NBA.
I agree. I like him too.
I love the NBA. We need more talent needs to be in the league, but I feel like people are just going crazy. In the podcast, I compared it to like Blake Griffin. Like when Blake Griffin first got into the league, he was like, everything was about Blake Griffin. Him dunking halfway over cars, him just dunking on Kendrick Perkins. He wrecked Kendrick Perkins so much back then. He wrecked Kendrick Perkins and Pau Gasol back in those days. When he was just dunking, and everybody was like in love with Blake Griffin. And then that love slowly turned to like being annoyed with him. And then it just went to pure hate. Now people look at Blake Griffin and they're like disgusted. Blake Griffin disgusts people. So like, I don't want that for Luka. Luka seems like a cool dude. I don't know him, so I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, he's a great guy. That's not. I don't say that, but he seems like a cool dude. You know, he's balling. I just don't want the irrational hate because
yeah.
Because
I'll probably end up hating him if it goes like that. I'll probably end up hating him.
Because it's because you know what it is. It's like when people irrationally love someone, you're like, okay, so like, okay, I get it.
You find everything wrong with
it. That's why Skip Bayless isn't like LeBron.
Yeah.
If LeBron didn't get the irrational hate or irrational love that he gets, Skip Bayless probably have no problem with him. Like Skip Bayless doesn't have any. He doesn't have like. He never really hates on. He objectively like critiques Boogie. You know what I mean? That's because Boogie doesn't have irrational love around him. But like players that get too much love, like Derrick Rose, he criticizes. LeBron James. Can't think of some more, but there's just some guys he don't like. So like, and then like Tim Tebow got the irrational hate. Skip Bayless loved him. So
you always got to try to jump on this. You always got to jump on the thing that everybody hates and hate the thing that everybody loves.
That's true. So I'm just saying, I hope it doesn't happen, but I see like the markings of it happening soon. Not soon, but not in like the next like. It will, to me. It happens when if he doesn't start making the playoffs, and I give him till his next contract that he has. If he hasn't made the playoffs by then, people are gonna start hating him because they're gonna be like, and see, because these are some things that I talk to like my boys or like Ramiro and Smash. Be like, Ramiro and I were talking. We're like, yeah, he's dope, and then people would be like, oh yeah, he's a 19-year-old rookie and he's doing this and that. He's technically not a rookie. He's played like 3 years overseas, and it's not like he was going to school during those times. You know what I mean? So it's a little different situation, him being 19 and living in Spain and playing basketball all day compared to like
he was a professional.
Marvin,
professional athlete.
He was professional. He was like compared to like Marvin Bagley that kind of went to class. You know what I mean? For a semester, or like even in high school. You know, it's just
like I guarantee you, like maturity-wise, this dude is like years ahead of the other guys in the league that are his same exact age.
Yeah, because you have
guys
to.
His age right now are like 2 years, like a year and a half, 2 years removed from high school. So I just know maturity-wise, they're on different levels.
Exactly.
So it's just you can't compare him to like your basic, like your average 19-year-old rookie. Because he's not.
So, like, if I had a message to send out to like fans and media, especially media, let's just enjoy this guy. Let's not hype him up way too much, because the media, they build you up to take you down, and that's what they're doing with Luka. It is just, I'm just seeing this in the first. This is year 1, year 9. I hope he's like making deep playoff runs, because if he's not, then it's a wrap.
He's done, bro.
They're gonna be like, they already can hear it. They're gonna be like, Luka was this in his rookie year, and where is he now? You know, he's didn't.
He's screwed if he doesn't win a championship with them.
Oh, he's screwed. Yeah, he's screwed. He got Porzingis.
He has to. He literally has to win a championship with them because Dirk did it.
Bro, you're right. Yo, he's
screwed.
He's screwed because he has to stay with that team forever now.
He has to.
Like, he's screwed. And this is the type of irrational love that he gets. That it's the type of irrational love that, like, when you start burning jerseys and everything, and people calling you a coward. And, like, I don't know if we talked about it, but he plays like Steve Nash, but since he's like 6'8", he's more like a LeBron James style, right? And LeBron James' style isn't necessarily a winner. Yeah, he has 3 championships, but that's like out of 9 trips.
Oh, he's screwed, bro. He better win a championship.
Let's pray for Luka. You know what was sad though when he found out he wasn't gonna be in the All-Star game? I don't know if you saw that video. No, he was like he looked like I'm not gonna lie, he looked like he was about to cry. He was bopping on the bench, having a good time, and then some dude comes up there and whispers in his ear, and he's like, "That's okay." And then and then he looked away. And then you know what? I did my research and I went on to the Mavs fan page. And those freaking guys, they were like, "Oh, this is why he's gonna be a superstar. Look at the maturity in his eyes." I was like, "Bruh, this dude looked like he's about to break down." And another person was like, "Luka doesn't care about going to an All-Star game." I was like, "Bruh, this dude's about to cry."
He's about to.
He's about to, bro. Like I was like, "What are you talking about?" The dude looks and you can't say he's not mad when he was bopping up and down on the bench, having a good time, and then someone says you're not gonna make the All-Star break, then you look sad. So it's like these Mavericks fans they're irrational, man. These Luka and you're gonna get guys that aren't Mavericks fans. They're just going to get Luka fans. You're going to get the Luka disciples. He's going to have disciples. Not a lot of people have disciples anymore, except like LeBron James.
Yeah.
And that's why Luka's going to be on. He's going to be on the path, man.
Yeah, he's screwed, bro.
I can't wait for Mark Cuban to come out and be like, "Yeah, we need to send all our American basketball players to Latvia too."
He's probably gonna do it, bro.
Because Porzingis is there now too. Because you know how Mark Cuban is,
I gotta start looking into that, bro.
Right.
That's funny.
Let's look at because we all get delusional about the team we want to root for. I'm pretty sure if like a Celtics fan checked out the Kings fan page, not actually no, the Kings they're depressing.
Yeah, we'd probably still be just roasting on half our team.
Yeah, the Kings fan page, we roast the Kings on a daily basis. Like they get roasted. Like 1 week we're like, we can make the playoffs, and the next week is we should have drafted Luka. Yeah, they're like, we should have drafted Luka. You know who's not? One person, when Bagley had his knee hurt, you know what one person said? They said, "You know who doesn't have a hurt knee? Luka." I was like, bruh. That doesn't even make sense.
Kings fans are ruthless, bro.
They're crazy. This man really had like a bone knee bruise or whatever. I don't know. I want him to play too, but somebody said, "You know who doesn't have a hurt knee? Luka." We got to hear that for 10 years, bro. I swear I hope Marvin Bagley turns into something because I don't want to hear this for the next 10, 12 years.
That's crazy, bro.
You know who doesn't have a problem making to the third round? Luka.
That's funny, man.
So yeah,
we have a nice little rivalry now with the Mavs.
No, we're stuck. We're stuck.
Development wise.
Yeah, we're tied with the Mavs forever. They kind of cheated by getting Porzingis though. I swear.
But it's like
it's young enough.
Our young guard. They got their young guard in Doncic. We got Fox. They got
everything.
We got Bagley.
And we got Giles.
Yeah. I'm just saying, that's like the head-to-heads.
Oh, yeah.
That people will always be comparing, Kings versus Mavs like that. But we got more of the.
See, we got
games.
The Western Conference is gonna be nice in 5 years because it's gonna be like the Kings going against the Suns, Kings going against the Mavs, Kings going against the Grizzlies once they get rid of all those old dudes around Jaren Jackson. The West always gonna be a bloodbath no matter what. So,
yeah, the West is crazy, man.
And those are just the young teams. And then you got the trash teams like the Timberwolves.
Oh, rip.
They could be in there somewhere. And then there's LeBron's son on the Lakers, I guess. LeBron's son and Anthony Davis.
Ugh, stupid.
So is Anthony Davis off your list? Is he one of your guys, or was he ever one of your guys?
I always liked him. As a player, and I liked him because he stuck with the Pelicans for so long. And it's not like the fact that these guys are moving teams is what makes me hate them. It's the fact that they asked to move teams. So that's why I don't like them.
Yeah.
Or if they make a weak ass move like KD, that's just whack.
Yeah, I feel you on that. But this is the NBA. I think Charles Barkley was pissed off at it. You should watch his. He had a rant about it. And his rants would be so
I can't.
good.
I don't want to connect with Charles Barkley like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. His rant. Sometimes they're good, and then sometimes you're just like, "What the hell are you talking about?" So he had a rant about it. He had to make some points, but then he goes left.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to be associated with him like that.
So, all right, man. I think we hit it off for this pop up. This was a long pop up, but
it was a long pop up.
It's a long one, but we did it. So, any last words out there to the people?
If you sign a contract with somebody, no matter what you're doing, you better stick that shit out and show what kind of worker you are. You could work under whatever circumstances they give you. Just freaking do it, man. Stop wussing out and I want to go do something easier. I want to be more. No, just do the best you can with whatever contract you're under, and then good things will happen after that. All right.
Hey, you might think he's unqualified to tell you that, and you're probably right. And you probably think he's uneducated in your experience, and you're probably right. But that's what we're here for. As always, stay unqualified, live uneducated.